Okay, ready to kick off another Thursday call. This is Wayne Ulery, host of The Call. And, wow, we have an exciting lineup tonight. I have a few announcements to get through real quick, and then we're going to get this call started. So go ahead and send some messages out there, post on Facebook, do what you got to do. Get your people on the call. They are not going to want to miss tonight's call. I know I feel like a broken record. I seem to say that every week, but it's true. We only bring the best on the call, the best of the best, and that's what we bring every Thursday on the Thirsty Thursday. So listen, let me let you guys know that we do have out in Canada a body confidence workshop with Mark McDonald, Al and Sherry Huva, Purple Diamonds, Jan Perpich, Black Diamond. Okay, that's on April 12th. You're going to go on to Monavie.com to check this out. We got a business building seminar in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, BC, if I say that right. Anyway, it's Black Diamond Executives Perpich, Al and Sherry Huba. You have the General Manager, Stephen Jones, Mark McDonald, Rex Crane, Lance and Tracy Smith. Oh, wow, geez. If you're out in Canada, you better get to that meeting. Those two meetings are rock solid. And then on Sunday, there are quite a few opens. There's also a BBS I see here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. You got Alan Sherry Huva, Joe and Colleen Wack. They are Blue Diamonds. You got Mark McDonald again, Rex Crane, Lance and Tracy Smith. Guys, lots of awesome BBSs taking place in Canada. And we can't forget the good old United States of America. I'm proud to say that the next open on the map is one that I'm speaking at in Plano, Texas. I'm excited to go out there to help my team out there and meet the teams out in Texas. We're heading out Sunday and looking forward to meeting y'all. And we got a surprise for those of you that make it to that open. That's all I'm going to say. I got something really fun planned. You're not going to want to miss that. Then throughout the week we have Hasbro Heights, New Jersey, Maria Reyes, and Mike and Sae Hernandez. You guys don't want to miss that. That'll be on the 17th. And then the 18th, you got one in New York City, Maria Reyes, Ernesto Safrain, and Mike and Sae Hernandez. Those are going to be some amazing meetings. There's a training on the 19th in New York with Mike and Sae Hernandez, Ernesto, and Maria Reyes. So you guys aren't going to want to miss that either if you're in that area. Then there's a business building seminar in Irvine, California. Okay, Todd and Angelique Hartog. You got Rex Crane, Calvin Becerra, Randy Schrader, Conrad and Jill Padilla, and Paul and Drew Barrios. Oh, my gosh, guys. Some rock-solid meetings coming up in the world of Monavie in the next few weeks. You don't want to miss that. All right, so listen, that's all I got for the meetings. Listen, if you're new to the Thirsty Thursday call, I want to welcome you. It's the call we've been doing for the last 5 years. I got started in the call just for my team because my team started out a little spread out in Vegas, New York, all over, and we needed a way to kind of come together each night. So we had this call, but we had it every night, not just on Thursday. We had it every night, and it usually started at 11 or maybe midnight. I know that must sound crazy to you, but that's when we would all get done off of our jobs. Some of us had jobs and things, and we'd come together and we'd share about the day's excitement. Sometimes we'd put a lifelong learning CD on and listen to it for an hour, just as a group. We'd just listen, and we would text each other. Did you hear that? Oh, my gosh, that was so cool. Well, anyhow, we started realizing it wasn't that fair for everybody because not everybody can handle being up from 11 till 2 in the morning. So we designed the Thirsty Thursday call. Starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday, people could have a HBR or an open meeting, and they could still make it to the call. And that's what we did. And then in the past year, we've really taken it to another notch. Steve and Gina Merritt got involved and started bringing wonderful leaders from all over the country. I want to let you know I'm working on leaders from outside of the U.S., not just Canada. I'm reaching out to Germany, Israel, and some other countries. We're setting some stuff up. It's going to be cool, guys. It's going to be cool. And then I took my second hobby, which is the Internet. I love social media and websites, and I put together the ThirstyThursdayCall.com just for you guys. You got to go check it out. It's a sharp tool I've been putting together for everybody in the world of Monavie, and you can go there right now, and you can look at the blog of Effie and Carl and Cathie and Bob and Donna tonight. I have a whole blog write-up. You can read about them. You can share it to your Facebook. And this way, people get an idea of what our call is all about. Because, guys, when it comes to the Internet, people do what they call lurking. Lurking means they just check you out. They don't like anything. They don't comment. They're just watching you, okay? And so by doing this, it gives an added tool so they can go look and learn about the people on the call. And I'm trying to get it out early enough so you can share it to your Facebook. This way people can read about Effie, they can read about Bob or Carl, and they might see something that attracts them and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to go listen to this call. I see these guys posting pictures every week. I didn't know it was all about this kind of thing. So, hey, there's a method to my madness. I'm putting a lot into it. I'm having a lot of fun. This has been a blast. If you have a cell phone, get it out. And I want you to text Thursday to 50500. Even if you've done it before, I got a new little message in there. Text to Thursday to 50500, okay? And it has a link to our website, and it has a link to a little mailing list where it's going to give you a call. Send it right to your email. How cool is that? All right, guys, listen, I want to bring on Effie Reid. Okay, I met her. Well, we didn't even really meet, but we were right next to each other probably about, 5 years ago in Indianapolis. Monavie had a big regional there. And Stephanie and I had the opportunity to share on stage for like 5 minutes or so, and Effie came on right after us. So I'd never forget her because I can remember her sharing with the audience and sharing with the crowd, and she just had so many wonderful things to share, and I'm just so excited to have her on the call tonight, guys. So Effie is an Emerald executive, and if you go over on the blog, you can read all about her, but I'm going to do a little interview with her in a minute here. Effie, are you on the line?
I am on the line. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you loud and clear. So listen, what I want to do is I do want to go into an interview, but first, Effie, I would be honored if you could just maybe say a prayer over the call tonight. I don't do this all the time, but I felt led tonight to just, ask if you would do that, just to pray over the people that are on the call and just maybe bless the call. Could you do that, Effie?
I would love it. It is an honor. Thank you, Wayne. Oh, Father, we just come to you tonight, all of us that are on this call and the people that will be listening even later to this call. Father, we thank you that you are raising up a mighty army to go forth, Lord, to the world, to the nations, and to tell the nations, Lord, all the good news. We thank you, Father, you've chosen this vehicle, Monavie, to heal our bodies, and it'll heal our spirits, it'll heal our checkbooks. Thank you, Father, that for every speaker on the night, Father, may they be anointed. Speak the very words that we all need to hear, Father, that you speak it through us. Use us as your vessels, all of us. And, Father, let us be courageous in everything we do. Don't let the enemy lie to us and steal our dreams. Let us go forth with boldness and to share this message with the world. We thank you for this. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
Amen. Hey, oh, man, I'm pacing now. Oh, man, I start pacing, I burn a rut right in my carpet. I'm fired up. Man, thank you so much, Effie. Listen, I just want to take a few minutes and interview you a little bit. I have a few questions for you. I was reading, your bios and stuff that you sent in to me that I put on the site. I understand you had some experience in Amway in another network, and you and your husband built it to the level of a diamond. Is that correct?
That's right, Wayne. Yep.
Wow. So you come into Monavie, and tell me, what happens from how did you find Monavie? Like, how did Monavie come into your life?
This is so neat. When you talk about, I've got to say, when you say walking back and forth, Wayne, that's what I'm doing. I walk back and forth. I get excited and pace. I don't think I can sit down and talk. Okay, when Monavie came into our life, and I'll try to keep it short, but we had, Jack had been fighting cancer. We've been having lots of struggles. Amway was very good to us in the beginning and all of that, but it's got to be very hard business to build. And so we made a choice that we weren't going to do it anymore. So anyway, Jack and I were drinking wheatgrass because Jack had the cancer, and he knew that was the highest in antioxidants of anything that he knew of. So can you imagine, we were growing grass, we were cutting the grass, and we were juicing the grass. I said I'd rather have been smoking it than juicing it. It was horrible. We would drink this wheatgrass. Well, a friend of Jack's called one day and said, told me about the juice. And so Jack gets off the phone. He said, Effie, I just ordered 3 cases of Monavie juice. Well, I had never heard of Monavie. And I'm like, what? And he goes, it's supposed to be better than wheatgrass. So Jack was a man that studied everything. He wasn't, I just take it all like, yay. But he just studied it. And we got the juice. We started drinking it. And he goes, Effie, he kept saying this over and over, Wayne. He said, this business is going to be huge, Effie. Do you hear me? This business is going to be huge. Well, Jack's not around anymore, so obviously he didn't have the juice in enough time or whatever. But the man, he never said things. He never said words that he didn't mean could back him up. So when he died, the great thing was that with me, it's like, only thing I can explain, it's like he handed me the banner, and he was like, Effie, run, Effie, run, and go tell the good news, because this is going to be huge. And some people on the call, you might think, what do you mean? That was over 5 years ago. And you know what? I was an emerald then, and I'm still an emerald. But you know what? I know it's going to be huge. And I know that we're jumping hurdles to get there. But I can tell you one thing. I saw that picture of myself. I was like, oh, my God, that's that old woman on that picture. That's not me. Because in my heart, I'm 30-some years old, and I feel like that. And I have the energy to go take this and build it big. So I guess that's long answer to your short question, but I'm sorry. That's how I get going.
No, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. So you get in the business. You guys like the juice. How long after you got into drinking the juice and that did you get into the business side of it? Do you know what I mean? You guys had experience with it, but when he got that juice, were you like, okay, let's build another network, or were you just wanting to? No, you weren't. So when did you make the transition into wanting to build another network?
Okay, I'm going to tell you a little short paragraph here. When we got into the Amway business, we were in for 37 years, but I was the one that got us in Amway because I wanted to get in Amway to leave Jack. That was my first goal. So I built it like, whoa. I had a negative motivation, but it was like got me to where I was going. So when we decided not to do Amway anymore, Wait, hold on a second. Wait a second. Did you say you got into Amway to leave Jack? I did. Oh. I had married my high school sweetheart because he could dance and he could play football. But when I'd been married to him for 10 years, we were broke, and I was sick and tired of being broke. So I had 2 children, and I said, I'm going to do anything to get out of here. And you know what? I made enough money that Jack started studying it, and long story short, he got in with me, and we got saved, and hallelujah. I used to think, I should have left him before I got saved. But anyway, we lived a very happy life, and we were married for 47 years, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Okay,
so 37 years in Amway, 5 years in Monavie. Wow. I mean, guys, there's a lot of wisdom.
You're right.
There's a lot of wisdom on this call. So one of the almost the underlying topic for tonight is we're going to be talking a lot about the MVP systems and the systems that we have and the importance of a system. So in your experience now, and you have quite an experience, how important is it to the new person when they're getting involved in this business, how important is it to them to begin to adopt our system?
It's absolute a must, and I'm not just saying that because you want me. We want to talk about that on the call. If I had never read a book or listened to, used to be tapes back then and CDs, I would never be the person that I am today. It was like the magic of thinking big. The first time when we'd get in the business, we'd hand it to somebody. And I think today it's the same thing. If we don't change the people, what we are inside, if we don't change the way we think, then we're never going to be able to change anything else. And I feel like I'm excited about the MVP system. I really believe we need to really promote it more and more and more. I think we should hand out these CDs. I don't think you should just hoard them. I think you should listen to them and hand them out because that's what changes people's lives and when it gives them hopes and dreams. But I just got my package actually today with all the CDs, and they're so good because I can be like in the bathroom taking a shower, get out of the shower, and listen to one before I even get all my makeup on. But the Go-Getter, the book, The Go-Getter, man, I read that long time ago. And you know what? I still use that. I still say looking for the blue vase. I still say that. Because you know what? You got to keep on keeping on. And we have to. You know, when you don't want to listen to a CD, it's when you need it the most. When you think, I just don't know. I'm so discouraged. I just don't know. I just want to go out here and eat worms. Then you need to put in a CD, and it'll get you back up. You know, it's a must. The system is a must, and we've got to teach it and teach people skills. That's what I believe.
Wow. And, I mean, what did you say about the blue vase?
The book, The Go-Getter. It talks about
I just got it, and I just started reading it.
Yeah, it's excellent, and you'll never forget it. And you know what? We used to read it over and over again. If somebody come and they would be like negative or something with us, we'd say, go read the Go-Getter. Go read it again. It's a little book. It's a little tiny book.
I know it is. It's not very big. No, and I just listened to Unlock Your Dreams by Rex Crane today, and I mean, oh my gosh! I mean, if you can't listen to one of these CDs and get motivated,
Yeah, I listened to Lance and Tracy. Yeah, and I was like, and you know what? We sit at the function and we hear it, but when you listen to the CD, it's like, oh my golly, I forgot they said that. I didn't even hear them say that. Yeah.
Awesome. Let me ask you this. So you've been in this business for quite some time. So when you went Diamond and Amway, you had a large organization, even Emerald. You know, I built it to Emerald in 14 months when I first started, and I wasn't using the system. I remember hearing about Brighart. I remember hearing about R3 Global, and I said, you know what, I'm not following that little leprechaun-looking guy. I mean, he's got long hair and he talks funny. You know, I'm a real estate guy. I know what I'm doing, and I did my own thing, Effie, for like 14 months, and I did go Emerald, but I'll tell you what, it was hard to duplicate what I was doing. I was not doing anything that was duplicatable. I was just like ignorance on fire and just going crazy, and everything began to crumble after that, you know. And so I've had to learn the hard way about, you know, instituting the system. In the MVP system, or with the scanner, tell me how things are going with the scanner with you. How's the scanner working out for you?
I love the scanner. I absolutely love it. Now, if I could tell you I signed up everybody that I scanned, I would love to tell you that. That's a lie. I think I'm learning like everybody else. But you know what? It's such an eye-opener. People get them so interested in the business. And, I feel like we're just getting started. Does that make good sense? My little iPad, tonight I was getting ready to scan this girl, and I couldn't get my iPad to work with my thing. And I'm like, oh, my golly, there was another distributor here, and he had to bring his in and get it to work. Because everything's not perfect. You know what I mean? It's just not going to be perfect. But you know what? Right. I love growing. But anyway, saying all that, yes. And I know I've heard great reports of things it's doing for other people. There's a lady here in South Carolina that's signing up people like crazy. So, and I have signed some people up. Don't get me wrong. But it's like you're just going to do a lot of planting seeds maybe before you get the particular one in.
Gotcha. And what any tips you could share? Is there anything that you're learning as you're using this scanner, like, oh, I'm not going to do that again, or, oh, man, that worked real good, or do you know what I mean? I know the skill to do comes with the doing, and I'm learning some things. And we're all pioneers here with this scanner, guys. So I don't know, is there any, we didn't get a chance to talk about this, but is there anything any techniques or strategies or skills you've been developing with it?
You know, the thing that I know is always getting back with those people. I feel like sometimes that even if they came out orange and red and they didn't really, they didn't bite, if I can get their email or get something to stay in touch with them and build that friendship, because they're thinking about it. Because when I know you can't say red, you're dead. I know Mark McDonald almost had a heart attack when I said that on stage. But I don't say you're red, you're dead. But I let them know if you're red and orange, you got to do something. I care enough about you, and I think I heard Frank Sochanek exactly say that. I care enough about you that I want you to do something about it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to change that? And it makes them think. And when they leave you, they've got to be thinking about what you said. So even people that have left me and said, well, I'm going to start eating better, or I'm going to do this better, and you can scan me later, I'll scan you later, and I want to scan them later, because there's no way they can eat better to get that up. It's just really hard to do that. But if that's what they think, and if they don't take me up on the challenge, that's what they do.
Awesome. And you know what, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to pretend for a second that I'm your prospect, okay? And I'm going to pretend that, I know you've been in the industry 37 years in another network, 5 years in this network. And so, and guys, we didn't get a chance to talk before the call, so we're both just right on our toes. So, Effie, here's my question to you as a new person who might be considering joining you or anyone in this business. Man, 37 years in another network, 5 years in a network. Effie, what do I really have a chance to make it in this thing? I mean, come on, you've been in this industry a long time. You even said it was getting hard in that other one. Like, do I have a chance? I really have some big dreams. I want to get the best schools for my kids. I want to get a better home, a nicer car. I want to be able to contribute more to my church. I mean, how do you feel about someone starting today in Montevideo specifically as maybe even 5 years ago? Like, come on, the company's 5 years old. What are my chances of really doing something? What do you think? What's your opinion?
You know what?
Honestly being a Christian, if I didn't have the peace of God and I did not believe that everybody has that can do it, then I would never be doing it. I have to know that it will work for anybody that wants to work it. But I happen to know that we have a lot of people that don't want to respond to a challenge. It seems as a scripture when the seed was planted and some, they get a couple rejections and they're out. That's why they have to have the system. That's why we have to be around each other. That's why these conference calls are so good. And that's why when you had them every night, because you get beat up. The world beats you up. And the Bible is very clear about that. The world is beating you up. And if you don't stay in the Word and stay and know, if you don't believe in the product and you don't believe that God's got a plan for you and you don't believe that, what in the world? I always said, we can't say this is a cure for cancer, but I'm going to tell you what, Jack Reid tried very, very hard to get his immune system up. And when we now can look on that scanner and know that what our immune system looks like, and we have a chance to get our immune system up, then I think we're foolish not to do it. But we can't make people do it. We can only go out and just be the messenger. But you've got to believe. People can be around you a few seconds and know if you can believe or not. But I can tell everybody on the call, I'm telling you that I can say it from the bottom of my heart, that everybody can do it. Wayne, you and I were on the stage 5 years ago in Indianapolis. Well, I was in Emerald. I'm 5 years later in Emerald. My husband and I built the other business together. I had built this business by myself. I had to grow. I had to learn. I had choices. I had choices to say, you know what? I don't want to do it anymore. Jack's not here. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't have to do it. I don't have to do it, but I do have to do it. My kids are like, Mom, go. I wanted to go. And this business, if I could encourage people, everybody from I don't care the age. I don't care if you're single, married. I don't care what. The wonderful satisfaction about going out there and having a testimony about how this juice has helped somebody. I really do call it Jesus in the juice. I've seen so many miracles with the juice, and I'm a praying person for people's healing. But I've seen where I've prayed, and maybe God didn't heal them that way. But you know what? They needed that nutrition. So I'm telling you that I can believe with everything I have, but the person that I'm showing it to has to believe. They have to hang around. They have to be committed enough. They can't play around with it. They've got to go for it, and that's what you got to be. You got to be committed. You got to sell out. You got to burn all your bridges and say, I'm going to do this. If this is what you want to do, then you got to sell out. I just finished my taxes, and I'm like, whoa, But I'm like, because this is stuff I didn't used to do. Jack always did it. Somebody else did. My secretary did it, and that's another story. But you know what? I was like, thank you, Jesus, that I have this business, that I can legitimately write this business off. I can legitimately hand somebody a bottle of juice and say, hey, go try this juice. Tonight the lady was here. I gave her a bottle of juice. I know we can't all give 100 bottles away, but you know what? When you're in business, you've got to be able to know that you've got to give to get. You've got to stretch by faith and go. The Lord will show you, but you've got to be courageous. That's my word. You've got to be courageous and not be afraid. Golly day, Wayne, I'm sorry. I get really whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh, are you kidding me? I don't know whether to cry or, that was you really touched me there. I'm telling you, I don't often get choked up on my call, but that was an answer, people. Oh my gosh,
It's the Lord, I know it is.
crying out to us. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
He is.
That wasn't what I was prepared to hear, but it was the best answer. Because you know what? It's interesting as she shared that. So what wasn't I prepared to hear? I was prepared to hear all the new stuff. And you know what? That is like what I call the conventional mind, even in myself, right? You go to the car dealership, and what's he do? He's showing you the mud flaps. He's showing you he's probably not showing you the mud flaps, but he's showing you the sunroof, the spoilers. He's trying to sell you. She didn't try to sell me when I asked that question. She just shared her conviction and her belief with me. She didn't try to sell me into why I should join Montevideo. She shared how convicted and how passionate in her belief. And that is what we need to have, in my opinion, when we're prospecting, because, I've heard it say before in my Christian faith that sometimes we're the only Bible that someone will read. And
right.
And so, it's funny, Reid. Anyway, so Reid, Effie, Reid. Anyway, so and so in this case, we're anyone who's coming across Effie, I know she's affecting something on them, affecting change on them, I felt hope, Effie, as you were talking. I felt hope because I heard how strong your conviction and your belief and your passion was. It produced hope within me. Trying to pretend like I'm, joining this for the first time. And that's what we have to do, people, when we're sharing this opportunity. It's not always so important knowing the whole flip chart. It's not always so important, knowing everything that's in that bottle. What's I think the most important, Effie, is what you just did, sharing your passion and your conviction, enthusiasm, excitement. Because people, 68% of Americans are saying their best days are behind them, and they're looking for people like Effie to show them some hope that they can latch on to and get excited about something again and go build something. Wow, you got me fired up.
Lord, you fire me up. Oh my God, together we'd be dangerous.
I think I'm going to come to South Carolina. We're going to do some meetings together.
Come on.
Well, man, I'm not pacing anymore. I'm like hopping around my room. Okay, I know we got a conference call to do here, and I'm just losing it right now because I'm ready to just fly out west and hit go back a few hours and go prospect some people. All right, Effie, in closing, let me ask you this. Wow. In closing, where do you see yourself a year from now in this business?
Isn't that wonderful? Wayne, I love that. I thought you were going to ask me, that I'm Effie Reid and who am I? And I'm about making people happy. Isn't that funny? That seems so simple, but, that's what it is. Where do I see myself in a year? I see myself as Diamond. Is that an easy thing? Am I real close to it? No. I mean, I'd lie if I told you I was. I'm not. But I if I come back to preaching, but you know what? I serve a God that everything's possible. And I believe, now I'll say with the new things we have, with the scanner and all that, man, we are going in front of so many more people. The people have increased so much with the scanner that our chances are so much greater. So that's where I see myself in a year. But Diamond's just one step. You and I, I see it bigger than that. But you know what? Honestly, it's not about me. I just want to get a whole bunch of people to go gold, and that's what I really want to do, and help them do what they want to do, and then I'll get there.
I love it. Effie Reid, Emerald Executive. Thank you, Effie, so much for coming on the call, and really appreciate you. It was an honor to have you on. And looking forward to seeing you again soon here.
Good, Wayne. Thank you for asking me. Thank you so much. Love you.
You got it. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Awesome. All right, guys. So listen, I told you it's going to be an awesome call tonight. And listen, I have two other friends of mine on the call. We're going to bring up Bob and Donna Bickis. Bob, the Bod Bickis, right? For those of you that saw me put up the picture earlier in the week, and I spelled his name B-O-D instead of B-O-B. I'm sorry about that, Bob. But I want to bring you guys on. We went out to Israel together, actually, last August. We both earned the trips to Israel, and we had met each other prior to that because we're both in Ohio. And, man, we had a marvelous time out in Israel. But they are Diamonds from Ohio, and I want to welcome Bob and Donna Bickis to the call. Are you guys there?
Yes, we are.
Yep, I'm here.
Awesome. Hey, Bob, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, Donna, how you doing?
I'm real good, thanks.
Awesome. If you guys can just speak a little bit louder, just a tad. You're a little bit low. That'd be great. So listen, I want to interview you guys too, real quick. I want to know, what was going on when Monavie found you. What was going on in your life? And either of you can answer. What was going on when Monavie first came into your life?
Okay, well, when Monavie came into our life, we were both realtors. Bob's a broker and owned his own company. We owned a property management company, and we owned a maintenance company, and Bob had some health issues. We were not at all looking for another job. We were just enjoying life as it was and probably had our hands a little bit too full. But an investor came to see Bob, and he told Bob about the juice because he knew Bob had all these health issues. Bob ordered juice off of him in September of 2007, I believe it was, and we were moving at the same time, so the juice never really arrived to our house. So we never drank it. And I guess it was probably near the end of January, he came back in, and we managed his property, so he would periodically come in to go over his properties. And he asked Bob if the juice was helping him, and Bob admitted, well, no, the juice was not really even being consumed, so he had to be honest with him and tell him that we needed to reorder it. So we reordered it February 1st. We both started drinking it, and by February 11th, our lives had changed so drastically that we were telling everybody in the world. So I think February 12th was actually our first sign-up, and we just signed up every friend, every relative, every investor that walked in the door, anybody that we came in contact with, because we were just that passionate about the juice and what it did for us. 3.5 months later, we hit Ruby. So, of course, they sent us to Zermatt, and, well, that's when our passion hit. It was really exciting.
Wow. So that's pretty amazing. 3 months from the time you guys chose to build the business, right? You went Ruby.
Right.
And
wow.
We didn't know anything
that's
about
amazing.
The business. We didn't know anything about the business at all. In fact, my wife took the card, and she's the one that came back and told me we were making money, but we really didn't have the programs that we have now are luckily enough to follow.
Wow. See, it sounds a lot like me. I didn't know what I was doing either, and we were still. It's interesting. You can not know what you're doing and go at it the way you want to go at it, and you can still achieve success in this business if you're, got enough enthusiasm and excitement. But isn't it better, guys, that once we get a system like MVP and everybody on the same track, that you can build a sustainable business? How has the MVP system affected your business?
Oh, I love the MVP. I can honestly tell you that if every single person, when they got into Monavie, would encourage each person they signed up to do the MVP and the lifelong learning, that right in itself is just huge. I mean, I can't tell you. Like I've also read the Go Getter book today. I loved the CD that, in fact, it was Rose called, and she's a gold in our downline, and she said, "Have you listened to the Lance CD?" And she was so excited. I mean, her passion. She was so pumped up that I couldn't wait to hurry up and listen to it again. Even though I'd been at convention, I'd heard the whole spiel that they did. I have to admit, just like Effie said, that hearing it over again, it just impacts your life all over again. So I'm all about the MVP system.
Awesome. And how about you, Bob? How have you seen? You guys were in Butler, and you had a group out in Butler, PA, and you had said, I think it was Rose in your downline was sponsoring like 12 people a week or something. Is that right?
Yes, she is. She's doing a fabulous job.
Well, tell us a little bit more about that. Go ahead.
Okay, I can tell you why she is successful. In my opinion, she's successful because she's willing to duplicate. She can see the work that was put into the MVP system, and she's intelligent enough to know that it works. She utilizes the system, and she incorporates it into everyone that she introduces Monavie to. She brings her leaders to all of our open meetings. She supports the entire team. She supports her downline, her upline, her crossline. I mean, she's just totally a giver, and she gives to everyone, and therefore she's just very, very blessed. And a good example is that Butler event. She came to the Butler event to support Bob and I, to support Mario, who's in my downline, because she felt like Mario constantly comes to our Columbus meetings, and she really wanted to do something back in return for him. So she brought a lot of her leaders. We had, I think, 25 people at that meeting. And because she did this, once again, she was blessed. I mean, that night she signed up a person in Butler that wants in it, and not just wants in it, but wants in it for the business. So I think that's huge. She belongs to the Lifelong Learning Program. She calls me screaming about the favored CDs that she has, but Rose duplicates. When she started, we were probably at her office 6-7 nights a week doing HBRs. But she listens, she learns, she duplicates. And now we go there like once a month. She also trains her leaders to duplicate. So Bob and I are attending HBRs now for Rose leaders once a month, for her once a month, and not because she needs us, but because we all just love each other so much and we enjoy each other's company. So if you look in the GPS at that step 10, it tells you all about duplication, and I can tell you that it works for her like nobody's business. I mean, it is really wonderful.
Wow.
Bob, you want to add anything?
No, I just think if we had this at the beginning, we'd probably all be on the Black Diamond thing together.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, my gosh. I think I sponsored like 60 or 70 people just, all right, welcome to Montevideo, build a list and contact some people. That's all I did, because my sponsor was out of state, and nobody did anything for me. And it wasn't, I've always felt like if you help people get what they want, you can have everything you want. I just didn't know to what degree I needed to help people. And what's great with this system is, I was talking to Steve Merritt today, and we were talking about how, if Bob and Donna, like, when they go Black Diamond, if the money makes them a little weird and you can't find them anywhere, it's okay. You got a system. Rose, if she were to, check out and just go on a 3-month vacation to wherever, it's okay. We have a system that people can follow now, And I thought, wow, that's so true, Steve. And so no longer does it matter, like, what do I need to know? It's all right there. I just take the person through the initiate process, go through the GPS book. Guys, this business really is simple, isn't it? I mean, I have a background in real estate, too, not as a realtor, but as an investor. And, man, there's some complicated stuff there, right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's some
simultaneous. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. So, I mean, comparatively, running a brokerage and being a realtor to running a Montevideo business, I mean, what are we talking here? I mean, it's like night and day, right?
There's no stress level in Montevideo. All the calls you get are, thank you for doing this. Thank you, I feel better. Thanks for making me more money. Real estate, 90% of the calls you get are not good calls. So it's like, do this, go here. And so the Montevideo is all positive, and that's real nice. People keep calling us that we don't even know, saying, because of you, my wife feels better. Because of you, we can go here now. Because of you, we're not on our walkers anymore. And these are all positive things, which a lot better than the calls you get in real estate. So a lot less stress in life.
Let me ask you this question. As a married couple, has Montevideo affected your life in a positive way? I mean, between each other relationally, or even with friends and other family, how has Montevideo given you a more meaningful life on a relational level?
Well, Bob and I have worked together since 1989, so we really have a lot of respect for each other's opinions. But I can tell you that since Mona V came into our life, the reason it works so well is because he lets me keep the Mona V card. And he just lets me tell him when we're making money.
I love it.
I'll give you a really good example. My cousin George in Canton, Ohio, I might have only talked to him twice in the last 20 years. And when I put him on Mona V because I knew he needed it, we now are best friends. I go up to Canton. He comes down to here. I spent all day in Canton with him on Tuesday. It totally rekindled our relationship. He lost 75 pounds with the reveal, and it actually saved his life. So that's what it does for our family. I mean, it's huge.
Wow.
He wants to know about our relationship, honey.
Should I tell him about the men's vitamins?
Oh, jeez. Go ahead. What about the men's vitamins? I'm not sure if I want to hear this.
No, you don't want to hear. Trust me.
Okay.
But we've always used to work together, so we work well together, and we enjoy working together. And it sure is nice going to the same places together and being together and being motivated and passionate in the same thing. So it's really added to our relationship, and we just love it. It's just real passionate for us to do that.
All right. Last question I got for you is this: what advice or what can you tell the new person on the call? They just, I know Carl, who's coming up next, he actually just sponsored someone this morning. So what can you tell the new person? They just joined. What words of encouragement? What could you share with someone who's brand new to Monavie?
A couple things I would share. One would be that they should show up for all the events. I really think that's important. Our team is really good about that. The support system, and it doesn't need to be, even within our own team, it's like the cross lines show up for each other. Yeah, and we come to Pittsburgh and Butler, and we go to Cleveland. Sure. I think that's all very, very important because the more things that everyone goes to, the more passionate. Even myself, I came back from convention, and within the first 3 days, I signed up 3 people. Why? Because I had that instant passion back just from all the excitement of all the leaders at the convention. So I think it's real important to do that. I think it's very important to have a view. The view has changed our lives. That scanner is just absolutely phenomenal. Our business has just jumped and jumped and jumped since we came home from convention with the view. Bob can tell you a really good story. He was in Canton a couple days ago with the scanner that was just awesome. Bob, tell them about your experience.
And this is good for everybody. My cousin tried to get this owner of a real nice top-end spa to go and see our Monavie products, and she consistently told him no, they have their own products and don't want to change. And so he said, can we at least bring our view over to see how your product's doing? And she says, you can do that. When we went to the spa, the owner tested orange, her 2 assistants tested red, and her client tested red. Right on that spot, she said she did the $10 life scans, and she said, throw away your product. We're going to Monavie. And the one woman said, can we turn them in? She goes, throw it away. Don't drink it. It's not doing you any good. Look, they made me score, and I scored purple. And she said, look, this guy scores purple. We score red and orange. We're gone with Monavie. So if you have trouble getting an appointment, that's a good way to do it.
Wow. One other thing I like to say, too, Wayne, is that the GPS would be what I would tell new people always to get the GPS and to follow the MVP. Because, just as an example, we just had a training not too long ago, and we used Holly Roush's CD and just did a little outline before everybody got to our house. And when we did that training, everyone, by the time they left our house, which was just maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours later, they all had 100 people listed on their tablets that we had passed out for them to be able to leave with just by using her theories and her ways that she actually told you to make your list of 100 people. It was really cool. Just the different categories, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The different categories that she plugged out there, we used those, and we together did it. We made it fun. Just a few of the new folks and some of my leaders came, and we just sat down and we together made a list of 100 people for them to start all over again the next day and go out and connect with. So it's huge. I listen to that CD constantly just because it reactivates my own list for me.
And I believe you're talking about the CD that comes with the MVP kit, right? The first pack of CDs. Is it Being Positive?
I don't even know what the name of it is. It's Holly Roush.
Okay. But I see it here, Holly and Corbin Roush. That might be it right there. Okay, cool.
It's a
there you go, guys.
For someone starting out.
Right, and that comes in the first kit when you guys get the MVP kits. When you're first starting out, senior or junior kit, it'll come with that. So awesome. Hey, guys, thank you so much for coming on the call tonight. I think you guys are hearing from Effie, Reid, to now Bob and Donna how important the system is. So, Bob and Donna, thank you guys so much for coming on the call tonight.
Thanks for having us, Wayne.
Thanks.
Okay. See you, Bob. Awesome call, guys. So listen, I want to, let's see, we're doing good on time. I want to bring on Carl and Cathie Firestone, Diamonds from up in Cleveland. We've known each other for a while. I can remember my first open meeting. It was February of 2008, and there was a blizzard out. And I had a Chevy Trailblazer. I had it in the four-wheel drive, and I could only go so fast on Turnpike up to Cleveland, barely keeping the thing on the road. But Mike Hernandez said, Wayne, you got to get up to Cleveland and meet Steve and Gina Merritt and Carl and Cathie Firestone. And I said, okay, whatever it takes. And I got up there, and I met these guys, wonderful people. We've become very good friends. And so I want to introduce to everybody Carl and Cathie Firestone, Diamonds from Cleveland, Ohio. Hey, guys, how's it going?
Hey, Wayne. Hey, everybody. How are you tonight?
Well, fired up. I don't know about you, but I am fired up.
Yeah, and, it's not fair that you asked us to follow Effie and the Bickises. I mean, they were just amazing, and we just are really thankful to be in business with them.
Awesome. I'm glad you're starting this off because I have a few questions for you.
Yes, sir.
When you guys, tell me about, I know that Carl had some construction businesses and some franchises, some subways, so you guys were already business-minded. So I guess when you were first approached with Montevi, you guys were on board, right? I mean, you're business owners, right? So you guys jumped on board right away, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, Carl had owned a couple construction companies, and he traveled the world, and they were very good to us. But frankly, it was killing him. The lifestyle, the travel, the eating poorly, the drinking poorly, all that goes with that was just, I was watching my husband just kind of fade away, and it broke my heart. And so he had decided after our first son was born, had some significant health issues, and he decided at that point to sell his businesses. So by God's grace and his hard work, he really, for all intents and purposes, retired at 37 years old. And we weren't looking. We were pretty content, and my cousin brought a bottle of juice to a Labor Day party we were having in 2006 because he knew Carl had migraines and had suffered from migraine headaches weekly for 30 years. And it was so funny because, of course, everyone thinks it's wine. And so Carl's looking at my cousin going, why are you bringing me wine? He's like, no, it's this super juice from around the world. And the room went dead quiet, and Carl was embarrassed and said, well, gee, thanks for thinking of me. Took the bottle, put it in the pantry. Long story short, we were never going to open it. He wanted nothing to do with it. I did some research after he went to bed that night, found that the White Sox were drinking it, knew that would get him because, the pain that he was in was just so hard to watch. And so, very long story short, he finally agreed to drink it and got a phenomenal testimony on the products, and we were just going to be drinkers. And then my cousin kept calling and saying, there's a business to this. There's a business to this. He hung up on him 3 times, said no to Steve Merritt. I mean, we were the epitome of doing this the wrong way. And then finally we watched his dad's health transform, and he decided to take a look at it for my cousin's sake and dug for 4 weeks to try to find something wrong and couldn't do it. And at that point, we were slow learners. We don't advise that. We jumped in with both feet and ran with it. And it's been the biggest blessing in our lives. And it's even more so to be able to bless all the people that we've been able to come in contact with and touch through this opportunity.
Wow, that's awesome. And I know we did a bus trip at one time up to Michigan.
Yeah.
And you guys shared in great detail your why with your kids and everything. And I tell you what, if any of you get a chance to hear their story, wow, what a touching story and what a beautiful family.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
God's been very good to us.
I want to ask you, Cathie, too, before I have Carl, I want to ask you this. How has Montevi, given you guys a more meaningful life? How about, relationally? With the family, with each other, with the kids, with other people. I mean, because when you were content in the businesses were sold, and were you meeting a lot of new people? Were you making a lot of new friends, or maybe you guys were always that social? I don't know. Like, tell me, how has Montevi changed you in your personal development? Can you go into that a little bit?
It's been huge, and Carl was very successful prior to Montevi, but that was his own thing. and I have a master's degree in social work, and I worked full-time before, we had our boys, and I haven't worked since, which is a huge blessing that, we've been given and I've been able to be home. But we never had the opportunity to work together. And when we really took a look seriously at Monavie, that was what I loved most about it, because finally this was something I got to do with my husband, and we got to work together at something finally for a common purpose, and that was something that we never had. And so that's what excited us, and that's why whenever we can, we try to meet couples together, because that's the beauty of this. And I know not everyone has that situation, and some people have a spouse or significant other that's not on board right away. You know what? That's okay. You build it. And they will come. I promise you. But it's been huge. And, the personal development, you have to grow in order to be successful in this business, and the lifelong learning and the books that come with it and the CDs. We weren't great readers, before this, especially Carl, and he'll tell you, but we are now, and it's changed us. It's changed how we relate to our kids. It's changed how we relate to our parents, to our siblings, to our friends, to the people that God puts in our path every day. And really, that's what this is all about. The Juice and Reveal are phenomenal products, but in the end, it's the relationships that are the most impactful. And when you can be a small part of changing someone's life and encouraging them to build their relationships and help them see where they can grow, that's a huge blessing. It's just icing on the cake.
Wow. Awesome. Wow, Cathie, I'm so glad. You know what, Carl? You can just tell Carl to sit down. I'll just ask you all the rest of the questions.
No, you have to hear from him, because he's wonderful, and he has a really exciting story to share. And we have a brand new person to welcome on the call tonight, because
I know.
Yeah, you got to talk to him.
Okay, wonderful job, Cathie.
Busting my chops. That's what it is.
So, Carl, tell us. First I do want to hear about, your new person in the business. We talked a little bit about it in the past couple of days. So go ahead and share how this came about. You just sponsored someone this morning, and tell us a little bit how this took place.
You got it. Well, Cathie and I, after church every Sunday, we go to brunch at a cheesecake factory in Westlake, Ohio. And everybody knows us there by name. They don't even bring the menus out. It's the Firestone. It's just really, really great place to have brunch on Sunday. So we're there all the time, and so keep that in the back of your mind as we share the story. So I'm in Walgreens just a few days ago, and this young man comes up to me and says, "Hey, don't I know you from Cheesecake Factory?" And I looked over. I said, "Yeah, you look so familiar." And shook his hand, and he introduced himself, and I to him, and Victor is his name, and Vic's on the call with us tonight.
Hey, Vic.
And hey, man, proud of you, Vic. You're gonna tear it up. And so we got to talking. Hey, how where are you from? How's use the form, guys. It's in the GPS. So I said, hey, where are you from, Vic? What's your family? What's going on in your family? And he shared with me that his father just passed away a few weeks ago, and we just really connected. He had some family stuff going on that I've experienced in our family. I said, man, just really connected with this guy. And so Cathie, before I leave the house, Cathie sets me up. She says, listen, you got to be branded. You got to have tools. You got to have your ammo with you. Okay, Vic is a U.S. Marine, and he understands ammo, okay? So Cathie sets me up with my ammo, and one of my favorite pieces is the MVP 365 magazine. So I've got stacks of them, and I take one into. She goes, "Don't go into any store unarmed," right? So I've got my magazine, my business cards, and I'm there, and I said, hey, you know what, Vic, I've got to take off. I don't have too much time to share with you. But in the conversation, Vic is studying to be a naturopathic doctor. And my antenna are just going crazy. I'm like, oh, man, Vic, we met for a reason today, and you have got to see this take this magazine. There's 2 CDs in the back. Can you listen to those on your way home tonight or tomorrow morning? Yeah, no problem. I said, great, and let's get together tomorrow. What do you have open tomorrow or the next day? I can meet you over here in Panera. Great. So we set up a meeting, and I met him at Panera, and I showed him the plan. I shared some product with him, found out, what man, I spent 4 hours with him, and it was just so cool getting to build a friendship and a relationship with this guy, and found out, what he's looking for out of life, what his why is, what his reason to maybe be considered, building this, and it was so cool. He was ready. I mean, it was, God brought us together. Cath and I firmly believe that it wasn't any accident, and it's like, man, what a sharp individual, and it just, from all of our history here in building this the wrong way, we knew what not to do, because we weren't getting the results that we wanted in the past, and we finally plugged in, listened to Steve, listened to the following the system and the lifelong learning and the GPS that comes in your starter kit. And we started to get the results. And so now we want the same results for everybody else, because, you guys, if you follow that information and you're armed, you're prepared, when you go out of the house every single time, be prepared. Even if it's just with a magazine and some business cards, have something to share with someone and get their contact information. So Vic texted me his cell phone number, say, hey, I'm going to call you a little later and we'll get together tomorrow. And got in there, showed the plan, poured the juice, and he came the next day. He wanted to think about it some more and do some due diligence. Came over the next morning, 8 o'clock.
That would have been this morning.
And he's fired up, man. He's got a dream and a big why, and he's fired up. He's going to do this. So watch for Victor, and we're gonna lock arms and run with him and help him be successful. And that's what it's all about.
Awesome.
Helping others get what they want, and it's amazing, Wayne. When you follow those little tips and nuggets and the system that are in our GPS, you're going to get the results, guys. You're going to get the results, but you got to do what's in there, or you're going to be off the path, and you're not going to get where you want. That's what a GPS is, right? A global positioning system. Your car GPS is going to keep you on the right path, just like our GPS map book they used to call, but now it's the GPS, is going to keep you on the way to where you want to go.
Awesome, Carl. We were talking before the call, and we were talking about you had experience with two Subway franchises, and we were talking about systems. And you were sharing a little bit about one of the systems in the Subway, and I wanted to kind of make a comparison between one of the Subway. Tell me about their GPS book, right? I mean, theirs was probably 25 pages, right? I mean, what?
Oh my goodness, Wayne. Well, what we call we don't want to beat up on any company or anything, but when we were a Subway franchisee, there was a manual, and this is a 3-ring, 3-inch binder, thick manual that's 8.5 by 11. I mean, it's 500 pages, and you have to follow this franchise agreement that you signed, and if you don't, we tease them when you would get what's called the sandwich Nazis coming into the store, and if everything wasn't right, guess what? You're going to get a letter that says, look, we're going to pull your franchise from you if you don't address this in the next 30 days. Sure enough, they're there every month inspecting things, and it was just intense. Now, there's some positives to that kept you on the straight and narrow, and that's there for a reason. It helps you really follow the system. Ours is more of an honor system. If you want to win with us in Montague, you got to follow your GPS, and that's going to be largely up to you because you're an owner. You do it or you won't win, and your sponsor will help you. But man, with Subway, they just come in and put the hammer down on you, and you have got to know if you put too many pepperonis on the sandwich, or not enough pepperonis, guess what? There's a price to pay for that. And, our system is so much more duplicatable and simple, and so many more people can partake in what we're doing because they don't need $185,000 to get started. They don't need to memorize and teach 16-year-old kids a 3-inch thick, 500-page franchise agreement.
Wow.
These kids are 16-year-old kids with raging hormones, and and you're trying to teach them how to run your business. It's just crazy. But with the GPS and Monavie, it's so simple. We've got 50 pages, and compared to a franchise, Wayne, like that,
there's no comparison.
There is no comparison, and that's what really I was struggling with, trying to figure out how this compared to franchising and conventional business, and I just didn't get it until I really got in, did my due diligence, and figured out that there's a whole new way to create a wealth-generating asset like this. Instead of doing a conventional business or a franchise with all that risk and all that headache, and man, the answer is Monavie, guys. It's right here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow, awesome. And you were also telling me about Victor, and you were mentioning him in the military. And did they have manuals they followed? And if they didn't, what was the consequences? Right? What were you saying about that? What was he telling you?
I was talking to him. I asked him if they had a field manual, like an Army field manual, and he said, "Hey, I'm a Marine. We have a Marine field manual. Once a Marine, always a Marine, right?" And I said, what, you guys follow that to the T? And he says, to the letter, or somebody could get hurt or worse. And that's what we have. We have a field manual. We have our field manual that if you follow it, for Vic in the Marines, he followed it. He kept his guys safe as he could, and you want to come back, right? You want to come back home and do the right things. And with our GPS, you have you're not going to get hurt physically if you step out the lines of this, but this is gonna cause you a lot of headaches, a lot of grief if you don't follow our field manual, the GPS. It's this speeds up time for you, and it helps everybody else. Get into a systematic approach of getting the results that you want. You don't have to guess at, what do we do? But rest assured, guys, if you don't follow what's in there, you're not going to get the results that you want. It's a proven method, proven support system, and a method for you to get where you want. So I would highly encourage everyone, if you're not following your GPS, man, start there. You want results with this, get in that GPS and start following the system and get on lifelong learning, and you're over halfway home.
That's right.
Yeah.
That lifelong learning is that has been such a big part of this for me, I know, and I know I'm talking to other moms on the call who are running their kids to school and running their kids to soccer and running their kids to ballet. I mean, we spend a lot of time in the car. And my 7-year-old, can pretty much recite, Mike and Sai Hernandez, or I had Matt Curtis on today, and, Jack's in the back seat just cracking up. He's like, Mom, that guy's so funny, but my kids are getting that too, and they're hearing that positive energy and that learning how to build relationships with people, and that there is a more meaningful life out there, and we have an opportunity and a responsibility, I think, to share that with as many people as we can. And so when you're down and when you're stuck in carpool line or you're stuck in traffic, being able to put one of those in changes your whole perspective. And wherever you get where you're going, you're ready to talk about this. You're ready to share this opportunity and this product with people because you just spent the last 20 minutes listening to Matt and Kim Curtis or Mike and Sai or Dallin and Carrie. And so that subscription is key. If you're not on subscription, please, before you go to bed tonight, before your head hits the pillow, get online and add that to your auto ship, because it will change everything for you. We all have down days. We all have times when we feel like maybe we don't want to do this anymore, and that's the time you put one of those in, and your whole outlook changes.
Wow, awesome. Well, hey guys, we're winding this down, and Cathie and Carl, I'm going to ask you guys one more question that either one of you can answer. It's been one of my favorite questions. Is and I want to say real quick to Vic, you're out there listening on the call. You couldn't have got in with a better couple out there in Cleveland. And
thank you.
You know what? They're going to take care of you. They're gonna show you the right way. And I'm telling you what, they're awesome people. So congratulations, Vic. Welcome to the Monavie family. I look forward to meeting you too here the next time I'm up in Cleveland. But the question I want to ask is this. I want to ask, what would you tell the new person, okay, the brand new person, and without repeating everything you just said, but what could you tell someone that's just getting started, an encouraging word for them in their journey in Monavie?
Oh, an encouraging word. Anything worthwhile is going to take effort, sacrifice, time, energy, money, and focus, and to figure out your why. Why are you doing this? What's your drive behind the reason that you got in? I got in. I want to make money. Okay, why do you want to make money? How much money do you want to make, and why? And you'll figure out what's gonna keep this person engaged and alive in the business. So always help them, figure that out. That's number one in the GPS, is determine your why. It's number one for a reason, because when you can help somebody, before you get what you want, you got to know what it is, right? Mm-hmm. So determine that first, and it's so important, Wayne, to share that with people and to make a connection with people, build a relationship and a friendship with people, because you only need three. I mean, three solid people will take you all the way to Black Diamond, and it's not like we need to, have thousands and thousands of people that we're spending time in and investing in. You need three. Get three solid people, find out what they want, and then help them go get it. Help them plug in fully to what we're doing in the GPS and MVP, and the results will come. But that's
I would just add, if you're brand new on the call tonight, you're in the right place at the right time with the right group of people and the right company with the right leadership. And, we've been blessed to be involved with Monavie for, 6.5 years now. And I can tell you this has been the most absolutely personally rewarding thing we have ever been a part of. It has changed our family. You're in the right place, and you have people in your upline, in your downline that will support you and will help you. And so just reach out. Don't feel like you're in this by yourself. You're in business, for yourself, but not by yourself. And that's the beauty of what Monavie can offer.
Awesome. Carl and Cathie Firestone, thank you guys so much for being on the call tonight. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, Wayne. It's an honor, and we appreciate you and Stephanie.
We appreciate you and Stephanie, because you work very hard to get this together every week, and they encourage everybody to plug all their guests into this and watch what can happen to their business, and get on the ThirstyThursday.com, ThirstyThursdayCall.com, and check that out and stay plugged in. You're doing a fantastic job, Wayne.
Yes.
We appreciate and love you, man.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. And thanks, Bob and Donna, Bickis, and Effie Reid, for an awesome call tonight. I'm going to go ahead and open up the lines like I do every week, and you can give a shout-out. This is Wayne Yolery from Youngstown, Ohio.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you.
This is Bob from Dixon City.
Ohio, Florida.
Ohio.
Susan Restad, Champaign, Illinois.
Cleveland Ming, Brandon, Mississippi.
Bill, Florida.
Tanya Dewey from Canada.
Armfield Mines, Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Brian Ladley, Pennsylvania.
Katrina Van Alstyne, Maryland, Ontario, Canada.
Good, Alicia McDonald, Orville, Ohio.
Wayne and Molly Dover, College Station, Texas.
Thanks, Wayne. This is Claudia Simpson.